Hello, it is Monday, October 9th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's time to start the solving week with a nice, gentle, themed Monday crossword. And I hope it is gentle because I'm running very late this morning, so I don't have too much time to solve this. And this hopefully approachable, gentle, and quickly solvable edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Aaron Spiller, the Lakehouse Bros, Jake Rodkin, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They are sustaining this channel, bringing us this series. Very grateful for their support. So thank you to them. Thank you to everybody who's a patron of the channel. And if you'd like to become one yourself, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve. Click the link in the description field underneath the video as well. That will take you to all of the bonus videos available, as well as the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses official mug for benefactors. Thank you again to everybody who's a patron. I do appreciate it. Thanks also if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is a big help if you'd consider doing so. And there is the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join from a link in the description field as well. All right, let's get on to the crossword itself. This is a Monday-themed construction by Zachary David Levy. It's constructed around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving, see what's in store for us today. Daddy's daddy, Gramps, or Grandpa, or something like that. Probably starts with a G. Transcript figure. Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable because this looks like GPA for grade point average, which might be listed on your university, I don't know, grades transcript, if you request such a thing. Okay, what about this? Add criticism to criticism. If you pile on, you're sort of adding criticism to criticism. The outer edge is the rim of something. If you do something in the style of something else, you do it sort of a la that thing from the French. So often food is described that way, or I don't know, all sorts of things are, I suppose. Agave-based liquor would be mezcal, right? First thought was tequila, but that didn't fit, so I had to rethink what I was thinking. Okay, daddy's daddy. So it does look like grandpa, probably. I think that is probably it. Let's look at the crosses and see. Place for a cool dip. A cool dip at the pool? Is it as simple as that? I'm so accustomed to sort of looking at something like this and assuming that there's some sort of subtle pun or misdirection going on, but it's only a Monday, so I don't think I need to be so worried about that. Per blank yearly, per annum would be every year. Here's Amazon, vast South American watershed. The Amazon basin, surely. There we go. Thought it was going to be Amazon River until I read the clue. Letters before an alias, AKA. So AKA is also known as, and you could see that before someone's alias, before someone's assumed name. Minor snafu would be a mishap, probably. Snafu being something that's gone wrong. Related to a pelvic bone. Oh, is that ileal? I think it might be that. This last letter is the one I'm least sure about. Let's look at the crosses. If you're surrounded by people or something, you're amid them. K in the NATO alphabet is kilo, so that's the International Radio alphabet, the phonetic alphabet you could use to spell things clearly. Unambiguously. Disco Queen Summer is the singer Donna Summer. So hand bone is, what is a hand bone? Not actually sure offhand, but it's interesting that it crosses related to a pelvic bone. That might be non-theme related, this pelvic bone one. This one is theme related because it looks like we're connected to what I assume to be the revealer. Anyway, a hint is a clue. Fireflug, strange portmanteau there. A firefly or a ladybug. Are those actually beetles? I don't know that I knew that, but it sounds plausible. Let's see if that's the case. Touch as on the shoulder. Someone could tap you on the shoulder. If one interferes with something, not sure. coconut tree, a palm tree. Metatarsal. Or no, not tarsal, metacarpal. So it's iliac, right? Okay, that was the letter here that I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure if it was going to be ilial or iliac, which is why I deleted that. And my first guess was wrong. So metacarpal, there we go. Metatarsal would be the in the feet. Okay, so that's a hand bone, and that is related to the theme in some way. We don't yet know how, but we'll get there eventually. To get together to relax and socialize is to hang out. To make noise like leaves in the wind would be to rustle, the rustling sound of leaves in the wind. Doing a crossword every morning for many is what? Habitual, usual, routine. It's the thing I'm doing now, but I can't seem to get the answer. Here we have Isle of Man, right, there we go, off of the coast of Great Britain. And baseball hits that barely clear the infield. Bloops, I think I've seen this before. I think a bloop is maybe that. Is that what that is? Oof, I'm not 100% sure. Let's look at the crosses. It's freezing would be brr, a sound of cold, sound indicating that one is cold. Lucy of 2000's Charlie's Angels, that would be Lucy Liu. Tiebreaker periods for short, or OTs for overtimes. Oh, and a ritual, doing a crossword every morning for many, indeed. I think you could say that applies to me, and has done for, I suppose, many years, predating this series as well. Although, actually, that's not true, because now that I do this video series, it is every morning. Prior to that, well, I suppose prior to that I did it in the morning, but then back when I lived in the US, I did it in the evenings. I did it once it was released the evening before, but in the UK, the time zones do not allow that. Okay, dirty buildup is grime. Delicious is yum. Arm bone beside the radius is ulna. Okay, maybe. Can't decide if I think this and iliac are part of the theme. I still don't think they are. I think they're just intentional nods to the theme by the constructor, but they're not referencing the revealer. I don't know. Iliac is an adjective rather than a noun. Ulna is a noun. Anyway, I don't know. We'll get there. I guess ulnal would be the adjective there. Vote of approval could be yay as in yay and nay. Pizzazz could be elan, so you do something with pizzazz, with elan, with flair. Interferes with something, tampers with it. There we go. What about here? Have we looked at these acrosses? No, we haven't. Swedish furniture giant would be IKEA. Large country house in ancient Rome. Is it a villa or hospital hookups? IVs for intravenous drips. Cousins and such are kin. Jazz singer Fitzgerald is Ella Fitzgerald, of course. So this is villa. Okay, I mean, that is a large country house. I wasn't sure if that was the same in sort of Latin as it is in Italian, I suppose. iOS downloads are apps, applications, and kitchen gadget is some sort of an apple peeler. Right. Okay, they're not bone related. So I was actually right to be skeptical of iliac and ulna being related to the theme. So interesting. And actually, I can already see the revealer, so I may as well read it. Many a new venture in Silicon Valley, or a hint to 17, 26, 37, and 52 across. Right, and I completely forgot that Amazon Basin had been highlighted as well. So obviously it wasn't bone related, and I just forgot about that. So here we have Nietzsche's superior man of the future would be the Übermensch. So let's see. Many a new feature and venture in Amazon Valley. Oh, I see. We have Amazon, Meta, Apple, and Uber. These are major tech companies, essentially. Anyway, we'll get there eventually, but let's just get back to the puzzle. Swiss or Italian peak. So we have an Alp, as in the Alps, the famous mountain range in Europe. Clairvoyance gift for short is ESP, extrasensory perception. An oyster's gem is a pearl, of course, found within an oyster. Zilch is nada, 0, nil. Lifestyle that eschews clothing would be nudism, I suppose. Followed by by would be by, followed with by. I don't know why I can't see what that is. Wedding affirmation is I do. Movie making locale, movies are often shot on a set. They work with RNs in ICUs, so they work with registered nurses in intensive care units. I assume that is MDs, medical doctors. Oh, if you followed the rules, you abided by the rules. There we go. I was, of course, not thinking of the proper, well, the not proper, but I wasn't thinking of the relevant meaning of followed. Bus stations could be depots, bus depot. A document displayed in a professional's office could be a diploma, maybe, referencing a qualification, such as a medical qualification, maybe, for an MD or an RN. Overnight option during a car trip could be a motel. You could stay overnight at a motel. An emery board is a need for a manicurist, so used to file nails. Bobcat by another name, so a bobcat must be the same thing as a lynx, which I'm sure I did know at some point, but wouldn't have remembered offhand. Wizard's curse could be a hex, a sort of magical spell that subjects you to ill fortune. Pennsylvania port, Erie. There we go. So Erie, Pennsylvania. Aleve alternative. So Aleve is is what is essentially a painkiller. So what would an alternative to that be? I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Facts are facts. I suppose that's a common enough phrase. And, emery is spelled with an E. I often mix that up. So these are tech something. Many a new tech startup. Because we're starting each of these words with a tech company. So Amazon, Meta, Apple, and Uber. There we go. Very good. Nice simple theme for a Monday. So if one puts someone in office, one elects them. Tool for fall cleanup could be a rake to rake up leaves. To exchange vows at the altar would be to wed, to be married. Mama sheep would be a ewe, a female sheep. Sense of wonder is awe. Slightly crooked is askew, such as, a painting or something. To give up would be, for instance, to give up land would be to cede land to another state, for instance. Sports results are scores. Contemptuous sort in modern parlance would be a hater. You contemptuous sort, you hater. Give in under pressure is to cave, I suppose. This is taco. Food truck treat in a hard or soft shell, indeed. I really reject the idea that any kind of respectable taco truck would be serving hard shell tacos. To be honest, I've genuinely never seen a hard shell taco in a taco truck. I would be quite shocked to see it. Nevertheless, even so, explosive initials TNT for literally the explosive material, and to put to work is to use something to employ it, and a pea container is a pod, famously 2 peas in a pod. And if one took a load off, one rested. So, there we have it. That was the Monday crossword, and I think it was a fairly gentle solve. I mean, there were a few slightly esoteric things, like iliac and, maybe metacarpal, which I think probably many of us learned as children and have not thought about since then, which is the case for me. But for the most part, I think this went reasonably well. And we had our nice, simple tech startup clue pointing to Amazon, Meta, Apple, and Uber, which I didn't see until I think I had solved all of these, possibly. Fairly certain that's the case. But that's often how it goes with these simple themes. You just end up solving them, and then it turns out they're connected in some way. I did end up using that to solve this clue, though, so that was something. And there we go. That was the Monday crossword. As I say, I'm on a tight schedule today, so that's that for today's video. But I will be back, of course, tomorrow for the Tuesday crossword. Should be another relatively gentle themed crossword. So do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Monday. Take care.